I don't show again o, everywhere don burst like.
Today I show with better thing because we dey start our senior man anatomy today. Na for here na im we go know who be who. So I don come with exam oriented stuff for you and I don give you license to study in this manner. So clap for yourself. Now make we start this journey. Our today topic na humerus bone. Humerus bone na im be the bone of arm region. You dey see am for your screen for those of you wey no know wetin be arm region before. And this arm bone wey dey call humerus na im be the longest bone and the strongest bone for the upper limb region. Now that is about that for just general description. Let's move to the parts of this bone. For that, make we take a closer look at this bone. Earlier in my previous videos I don mention say na left bone na im we go dey use dey do our examples. So here now the same thing, we are using left humerus dey do our example. This left humerus now, we have three regions just like in other long bones. Other long bones too we talk say dey always get upper end, lower end and shaft in between, just like that humerus dey. Now for the upper end we get like 5 features. These 5 features na im, first of all we get the head. You see I dey rotate am, this is the head of the humerus bone. E dey like part of sphere wey dey cut comot, so you see am, that is the head of the humerus bone. Now we also get the neck of the humerus, but there are other things wey we go talk about the neck later, but for now just know that that is the neck of the humerus. We also have other things like the greater tubercle and lesser tubercle, where this is greater tubercle and this is lesser tubercle. Greater tubercle is more lateral than lesser tubercle. Then in between the greater and lesser tubercle we have a line wey just pass through their center. That line na im dey call intertubercular sulcus, or some people dey call am bicipital groove, anyone goes. Now that is like small general description of this upper end. Let's move go the lower end. Lower end, you almost see am, e get some features wey dey this lower end to am properly. This lower end now, e get this part wey dey call capitulum. Capitulum na im be this medial aspect wey dey here, and then we come get the trochlea at the lateral side of capitulum, see am, and then up, that is up of the capitulum we get
Coronoid
fossa, and then up for trochlea we get
radial
fossa. So we get capitulum, trochlea,
coronoid
fossa on top of capitulum and
radial
fossa on top of the trochlea. Now we can't get medial epicondyle, this side wey swell go up before you get to those down parts. That part na im be medial epicondyle. You see am, e press go outside like this. Then we can't get lateral epicondyle, e no too press go outside like this medial epicondyle, but himself na epicondyle dey call am. We get the lateral epicondyle and we get the medial epicondyle. Now for back of this bone, if you look the back of this bone, we get this thing wey enter inside, they call am olecranon fossa. This is called olecranon fossa. Now that should be the enough description for the lower end. Now make we take a look at this bone in the shaft. The shaft just dey, but e dey kind of more cylindrical, especially in this upper aspect, but by the time you get to the lower aspect e kind of dey triangular more. So in this upper aspect is kind of cylindrical and lower aspect is kind of triangular. By the time you are done with that, you fit move go the anatomical positioning of this bone. Anatomical positioning of this bone, you no need much to talk about am. First of all, just know say this head wey we don look for up here, the head of the bone wey we don look for up here, just make sure say e dey face what? E dey face back, e dey face medially and e dey face up. So see am just like e dey for this diagram wey e dey point go back, e dey point go up and e dey point go medial direction. Just make sure say e dey face like that. That means say make e just face inside and face up. So just do am like that. By the time you are done with that, that is first step. Second step, make we take all these things wey dey front, lesser tubercle, greater tubercle, intertubercular sulcus, just like the way they dey face me for this screen, make sure say they face front. When they face front, second step don check be that. Then make we look at the third step. Third step na this olecranon fossa wey we don look for back. We don already talk say olecranon fossa suppose dey face back, right? So this olecranon fossa here, just make am face back. By the time you face back like this for this diagram, step 3 don check. Now see, step 1 is still facing there, step 2 is facing front, step 3 is facing back. You are done. This is the anatomical positioning of humerus bone.
By the time you do this one for oral exam now, na to just wink your oral examiner, make e start the clap for you because all power belong to you. Now make we carry body enter the features and attachment of this bone. We don already establish before say we get upper end, we get shaft and we get the lower end. So make we start from the upper end. In the upper end we don already look the head. Now let's go back to the head. The only thing wey dey notable about this head be say e dey covered with articular hyaline cartilage. Hyaline cartilage cover am. Then of course we don mention the neck and I tell you say we go talk about am more later. Wetin I wan tell you before na say this neck e dey weird. E get like 3 neck wey this humerus get. Now these 3 necks dey call them anatomical neck, surgical neck and morphological neck. Make we first look at anatomical neck. Anatomical neck na im be this neck wey you see so for this side here. This one wey I dey tag right now na im be the anatomical neck. Anatomical neck e dey immediately after that sphere wey you see, so that half of sphere wey dey the head region. So na this neck na im be the part wey the capsular ligament of shoulder joint dey attached to. So that's the anatomical neck. We also get the surgical neck. Surgical neck dey around this region here. In this region here, it is below the epiphyseal line, one line wey you no fit see. Dey talk say e dey there sha. The epiphyseal line na im be the line wey the bone dey actually grow at. You go understand am properly when you read your histology to some certain extent. Now let us move into the morphological neck. The morphological neck is the neck that is situated directly at the epiphyseal line. So at the epiphyseal line we have the morphological neck, and this morphological neck is actually the true neck of this bone. Now one good thing about the surgical neck is that it is at this region that this bone is placed against a nerve that is known as axillary nerve and some other vessels like the anterior and posterior circumflex humeral vessels. So at this region, if the bone break at this region, if it cause wahala, it go fit damage those nerve and arteries. Now make we move from these things wey we don talk now into the tubercles. Now the greater tubercle na im next for us. The greater tubercle na im be the what? Na im be the lateral one among these two wey we see for here. This is the greater tubercle and it is giving attachment to like 3 muscles. The first of them being supraspinatus for up, infraspinatus in the center, and then teres minor down. Then we come get this lesser tubercle wey dey medial to the greater tubercle, and this lesser tubercle only give attachment to only one muscle, which is subscapularis muscle. Then with that we are done with these tubercles, and then we have only the intertubercular sulcus. Intertubercular sulcus is between these two tubercles, and look at it, it has 2 lips, that is 2 sides. You get this medial side wey dey related against this lesser tubercle, and then you get this lateral side wey dey related against the greater tubercle. So they call them medial lip and lateral lip. Now for the medial lip now, the medial lip give attachment to a muscle that is known as teres major muscle. Teres major muscle. Then the lateral lip give attachment to a muscle that is known as pectoralis major muscle. Then in the center, that's on the floor between those 2 muscles where they attach, we can't get one muscle that is known as latissimus dorsi inserting there. So those are the features of the upper end of the humerus bone. Now let us move into the shaft. The shaft of the humerus. Let us check it properly. This humerus has we don't already establish before, say the upper part is cylindrical and the lower part is triangular shape. Now this shaft you get like 3 different borders. The borders are anterior border, medial border, and lateral border. If you first look the anterior border continue down from this lateral, from this what? It continue from this lateral lip. This lateral lip, you go down. You see how they trace the line down until you reach this part. You see this part where swell come out. That thing is known as deltoid tuberosity, and then it continue downward until it can't disappear around the region of the radial fossa. That's the first border. Now for the second border now, we have the what? The medial border. The medial border now continue from the medial lip of this what? The medial lip of bicipital groove, and then it goes down until you reach this medial supracondylar ridge. Medial supracondylar ridge around that region of medial epicondyle. I don't tag the medial supracondylar ridge for you. Now we'll continue. We get along this line where you take insert, bend down, you see this is called the what? At this position we have a muscle inserting. That muscle is known as coracobrachialis muscle. Now down when it gets close to the part where it's going to insert, it also gives attachment to another muscle. That muscle is pronator teres muscle. Then we can move to the lateral border. The lateral border be this border will give rise to this lateral supracondylar ridge around this region where we get lateral epicondyle. That lateral supracondylar ridge go up forming this lateral border. But while I do, because we no can know where the thing can end for, but the chart talks say the trace and go the parts posterior aspect of this greater tubercle where you see for here. So around this location, this is where the lateral border is terminating. So it is vague up but down e dey form this lateral supracondylar ridge. Now along this the borders, because we get these borders, between them we get surfaces wey dey enclose. These surfaces wey dey enclose na dem be, first of all we have the anterolateral surface between anterior and lateral border, we have the anteromedial surface between the what, the medial border and the anterior border, and then we now have the posterior surface that is between the what, medial and lateral borders. So all of these are the surfaces. Now one interesting thing about this posterior surface is that, let's turn to the posterior surface. This posterior surface gives a groove around this region. You can see the groove, right? I've tagged it. That is what we know as the what, we know it as the spiral groove or radial groove. This groove e dey give passage to some nerve and vessels. The nerve na radial nerve and the vessels wey dey pass there na profunda brachii vessels. So that is the things that we have in this posterior surface. Now let us go to the lower end. If you look at the lower end of this bone, the lower end of the bone is having is flat. We have already established that before. We have all those things: capitulum, trochlear, radial fossa, coronoid fossa. Now let's look at the attachment wey we get for here. Now on this medial side, now you see this medial side here. On this medial side, it gives the something wey we dey call common flexor origin, and the anterior surface here in this medial part e give common flexor origin. Then in this lateral part, in the anterior surface but a little bit still lateral, you see am, e dey give attachment to the common extensor origin for this side. So common flexor origin here, common extensor origin here. Then for the posterior surface of this lateral side, that is around here, e dey give attachment to a muscle wey dey call anconeus muscle. So these are the features and attachment of all the parts of the humerus bone. Thank you very much for watching and have a nice day. From Hood Anatomy.